Hello guys, welcome back again. I hope you had a wonderful week. Today we're gonna be making the Mio dress, and it's actually made of 3 parts. We have the top part, and then we have the waistband, and then we also have the bottom part of the dress. So I made the dress slightly long because it was already ordered before I even made it, so I didn't want to make it too short. And then it's actually stretchy, both the top, the waistband, and the bottom part of it, and it's meant to be a bodycon dress. So in the video I'm going to be explaining how I made the dress, and it's pretty simple because it's basically using 2 stitches, and then I'm going to be attaching all of them together. So also I was supposed to add this at the top so that it can go around like the arms. Let me know what you guys think. Should I add it or not in the comment section? So we're gonna be using a 4mm hook. You can use any hook size, and then 4-ply yarn from Winter King. And this is all the details about the yarn: machine washable, the twist direction, and all that stuff. So I just buy it locally from Kenya. A lot of people have been asking me. I've not seen an online store. I just buy all my yarn from a local store, and then it's 50 grams, and that's the color of the yarn. So I recommend using a hook size that's slightly bigger than the one recommended for the yarn you're using, because then it's going to help it become more stretchier. We start with a slip knot, make a chain. So as you work the chain, you want to keep in mind that you want to make the chain as long as you'd like the length of the top part of the dress to be, just before you add the waistband. So you want to make it long enough from the top of where you want the dress to begin to where the waistband is going to be. So because you're going to be making it stretch around the bust, you work the rows up, down, but you want to work enough rows wide enough to go around your bust after stretching. So once you have a chain, you want to make sure you keep a multiple of 4, and then you add 1. So you're gonna start with a slip stitch, go in, pull up, loop, and then pull through. Go into the chain, pull, and so you're going to work 4 slip stitches, and next you're going to work half double crochet yarn over, go into the chain space, pull up a loop, then pull through all 3. Again yarn over, go into the chain, pull up a loop, pull through all 3, and then work 2 more half double crochets, so that you'll have a total of 4 half double crochets. Make sure you work all of them in 2 different stitches. We're not working any of them like into the same stitch, so each stitch has its own work into its own chain space. Next we're gonna be working slip stitches again. You just go into the chain and pull the yarn through both the chain and the loop on the hook. Work 4 slip stitches, and then we go and start working our 4 half double crochets again. This is the pattern we're going to be repeating. It's pretty easy, as you're going to see. A lot of repeats work going on. So this is just my sample, but for you, you want to make yours long enough to cover your bust. I'm just reminding you guys. Okay, then for the next row, you work your half double crochets on top of the half double crochets. Maintain the 4 half double crochets. Then work your slip stitches on top of the slip stitches you had made in the previous row. And one thing, you want to work in the back loop only. This is very important because that's what gives it that effect. Only work into the back loop for both the half double crochet and the slip stitches. Next, we go on working our half double crochets on top of the other half double crochets, and you should be maintaining 4 stitches for each. Next, we work our slip stitches. Okay, so for the next row, chain 1, and then we're gonna be interchanging the stitches. So what you want to do is to work half double crochets on top of where you had worked the slip stitches, and then you'll work the slip stitches on top of where you'd worked the half double crochets. So we're going to be starting with the 4 half double crochets because we have the row before that, under that we have slip stitches. Okay, next we will be working slip stitches because the previous row we had worked the same spot, we had worked half double crochets. Next, half double crochets on top of the slip stitches. And then slip stitches on top of the half double crochet, and you're going to be repeating that for as long as your chains are until you get to the end. For the next row, we're chaining 1 and then turn your work, and then you're going to be working slip stitches on top of the slip stitches. So if you ended with the slip stitches, you work 4 slip stitches. If you ended with a half double crochet, you work 4 half double crochets. This completely depends with what stitches you have. You just need to repeat the slip stitch, 4 slip stitches and 4 half double crochets in the order that I'm showing you guys. So where you had your half double crochets, you work your half double crochets on top. Where you had your slip stitches, you work your slip stitches on top, and soon you're going to see it's forming some shape of an almond, and so the stitch is called the almond stitch, and it's going to be what you use for both the top and the bottom part of the skirt. So I will link in the description the video that I used to learn the almond stitch, in case my explanation is not very clear. and then you can just go check out how the other lady explained it. But that's what you need to have, and you're just going to be repeating that. That's why I said it's basically a simple tutorial, because it's a lot of repeat. So for both the skirt and the top, you're going to make that. Just leave some space for the waistband while you do the measurements, and then make sure you make it long enough, as in enough rows to go around your bust and as well as your hips after stretching. So this is what the top of the dress looks like, and as you can see, it's stretchy, so the bottom is longer but it's also stretchy. And I just make sure that after you make the rows wide enough, they can go around your hips after you stretch it, so that you maintain that bodycon and it doesn't become loose at the waist. And now we're going to be working the waistband. For the waistband, we're going to be starting with a slip knot. Then work chains for as long as you'd like the waistband to be. I made mine around 15, chain of 15. You can make wider or thinner, that's all up to you. So I'm going to be working slip stitches for the waistband. So work one slip stitch into each chain all the way until the end. Once you get to the end, chain one, turn your work, and then work slip stitches into the back loop only, into each stitch until the end of the row. And you're going to be repeating this until the waistband is long enough to go around your waist without stretching. So for the top part of the skirt and the bottom part, you want to make sure it can go around your bust and hips after stretching, but for the waistband, make sure it can go around your waist without stretching. So as I showed you guys, this is what I have. I was supposed to add it for the top part of the dress. I'm still debating whether or not to add it, but this is what yours should look like after you work the waistband. Maybe slightly thicker. Mine was thicker than this. This was for the top part, as I mentioned. This is the waistband of the dress, and that's the back part. And for the back, I just joined using simple single crochet, each stitch with the adjacent stitch. I'm actually going to be adding a zip because, as I said, this dress was made on an order, so I gotta add the zip so that it's easy to wear. If you make the dress short, you don't really need the zip, but if you make it long, the longer you make it, the more you'll need a zip at the back, because it's gonna be difficult to wear. So I just made all of them, and then I joined the parts together. Then when I finished, I joined using a slip. I joined the back now using a slip stitch. So I made the individual parts, joined them, joined the top to the waistband to the skirt. I'm going to be doing a short demonstration on how I did that. And you want to first turn your dress inside out, and then you want to work into each row of the slip stitches you had made using a needle. So any method you use to join is okay. I'm not the most confident person about my joining method, although it still works for me, but any method you use is up to you how you decide to join. But I do advise going into each row of the slip stitches so that there's those spaces in between, and also so that it can stretch properly. So just go into each row, and any adjacent row you find onto the top, any adjacent stitch, that you find at the top, but make sure you go into each row of the slip stitches when you're like joining them together. So this is just how I joined. Pretty simple. By the way, if you have a better method of joining crochet pieces together, let me know. I basically only know joining using the single crochet or using this method. I don't even know the name of the method, but they've been working out for me. But let me know what other methods you guys use to join crochet pieces together. So I'm not going to be fully joining this. I just wanted to show you guys a short demonstration of what I do, because I'm still debating whether or not to add this. Don't forget to let me know if you think I should add it, or whether or not you're going to add it onto yours if you decide to make the dress. And that's it for the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, if anything was unclear. And thank you so much for all those who have been reaching out and connecting with me. It's been fun getting to know you guys. Bye.